All right. Here we are. Think and Grow Wealth. My name is Jon Robert Quinn, the guy who builds talk shows coast to coast. And of course, we're hanging out here with Mr. Frank Verney. And we're going to talk about
investing as a full-time business versus a part-time business, and really going all in versus just playing it and making it a hobby.
Well, as I say with your marketing, you're either everywhere or you're nowhere. And it's exactly the same way when you're wanting to be an entrepreneur. You're either all in or you're not in. Simple as that.
You have to wake up each morning and say, you know what? Like I tell, again, when I do my seminars, I have people in the audience all scream out, I am a real estate investor.
Every single time.
Every single time. Mm-hmm. And I'll have them do it 2 or 3 times, because what happens is that people walk down the street. They look, they're not paying attention to the things around them. I just bought a new car for Christmas, an Avalon. You'd be amazed how many Avalons are actually on the road. I never even knew.
Every time I see one now that's like yours, I'm like, nope, it's not.
It's really amazing. So when people walk down the street and their mindset's not there, they walk past houses that have grass up to, wherever. There's garbage all in front. The windows are blocked, and they pay no attention to it. If you change the mindset, if you say to yourself, I'm all in, I'm going to make this happen, all of a sudden you'll stop and say, wait a second, that's a possible house that I could invest in. This is something that I could look at. Before that, you paid no attention to it.
Well, here's the lesson that I learned. I was 14 years old. I met a guy down in Monterey who was playing guitar. I'd never been introduced to the instrument ever before. A lot of people, you guys know that I'm a professional musician now. I've done tons of records. I just hit 100,000 copies. I get my little gold plaque now.
Oh,
yeah,
wow,
baby.
That's cool.
It's kind of
Congratulations.
cool. Yeah, no, it's kind of cool. All right, so the point I'm making is when he told me, I was 14 years old, he says, if you want to be a famous rock and roll guitar player, you have to play every day. You have to invest the time in every single day, or it's never going to happen.
Right.
And I learned that so early on. In everything that I've ever done, I've done that exact formula. Really is every day you have to be in, or you're not in.
For investors that get involved in real estate, you can't be a hobby. Now, you can have a real job until you can make enough money to get rid of that job, because that's the intent. The intent is to get rid of your job. Fire your boss, because, you want to be able to run your life the way that you want to run it, and get the things that you expect to get from life. So if you're not all in, you can't be successful. It doesn't work. People try to do this, and they come. We have. As we have a group that we meet with each week. Some of them don't do their homework. They don't go out there, and they don't do something in real estate every single day. Those people will never be successful. I have people on my team that have been with us for 2 and 3 years. They haven't done anything. They've done nothing.
Like me?
Well, you've done a few other things, but they've done nothing in real estate, and they come every week, and basically they're students. Okay,
we call it real estate church.
Real estate church. Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, but you have to participate. You have to do the things that are required to make it happen. And if you're just going to sit there and become a student, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not going to change your life. So for me, every day I wake up, and I have a routine that I go through.
And then around 10:15, you get a call from me because I look down at the numbers and I go, all right, I got to call Frank and get today's, what are we doing?
But, I obviously have a book that I've written. I'm here on the radio program. I'm always out there trying to help people to be successful. And so what that does is that it makes me more, I guess, what's the word? I'm more dedicated to myself.
Well, what happened is you've been in real estate forever, like eons. I think you sold Fred Flintstone his first house, if I remember correctly.
I'm not that old, but that's okay. I appreciate that comment. It's good.
It's not age. It's wisdom and experience.
There you go.
No, the point is that you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
And when I came to you and said, you know what, we should do a show, you were like, yes. And we did the first show, and we brought you on the Good Life show, which is like almost
eons ago.
I know, it seems like it was a lifetime ago. And then we've had these different shows come along, and then now you're doing books. Think about where you were at then and where you're at now, and what that investment has done for your business and your how people perceive you. And
well, again, I tell people that, I know a lot of people have done shows with you too, and people ask me, what has the radio generated any business for you? Well, the bottom line, it has. It's created, people now understand who I am. They get to see my face. They get to read my notes. And, I was telling you that we got a deal in San Jose that we're currently working on. The actual agent that I was working with, we sent our offer, and he goes, I know your name. How do I know your name? And he goes, are you on the radio? And I go, yes, I am. He goes, so I've listened to your program. You seem to have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. And, I've worked with a lot of investors, and most of them are, full of, dog doo-doo. And I want to work with someone that I see is actually making it happen. So even though your offer is about $10,000 less than the highest offer I have, I'm going to talk to my sellers and have them accept your offer.
Well, what's funny about that is I think that's how much you spent with me last year. So
maybe
there you have it.
But my point is, you have to be real. You have to be real within yourself, and you have to be able to want to help people, because real estate is a help business. I consider myself a professional problem solver. I don't go and talk to clients in any way with the intention of making money. If I can help solve their issue, then of course I'm going to make money, but that's not my intent.
Correct.
And investors who can't do that, who don't understand that piece, stay away from this business, because you'll get in trouble.
Money is nothing more than the exchange of value for value. So if you're providing somebody with something that they need, they're going to give you what you need.
Right.
If you're not providing them with anything that they need, guess what? You're not going to make any money.
Right. And when we're talking to people, for instance, that are, and there's a lot of foreclosures that still happen. And a lot of real estate agents, some investors even go knock on the door and say, you're in foreclosure. Can we buy your house, or can we sell your house? And basically what happens, that person has no intention of ever dealing with you. So there's a different way to help people. Listen, and this is how I'll address people. I knock on the door. Hi, my name is Frank Verney, and I'm a local investor, but I'm also interested in helping the neighborhood. I understand that you may be in some issues with your bank. Did you know that there are many, many options? In fact, in 2007 to 2010, lots of people lost their homes. About 70% of those people didn't need to, because they just didn't have the information that was necessary for it. They didn't understand what their options were. So if you have a few moments, or maybe at a later date, we can get together, and I'd like to review those options with you. Whether you sell your house to me or whether you want to keep your house, I don't really care. What I'm trying to do here is I have some information that may be able to help you. Can we set up an appointment to do that? What's the chance of that person wanting to talk to me?
A little bit better than the guy going, hey, how you doing? I'm Frank Verney. Yeah, the guy on the radio. Yeah, you know who I am.
So you have to want to help people, and that's what it's all about. And that's the difference between having a business mindset and doing this full time and doing it as a part-time business. You can't do it part-time.
You mean I can't do radio part-time?
Well, you don't. So it's okay. So obviously you do other things, but your primary business, my primary business is real estate, period. Now, I write books. I'm on the radio. I do other things besides that.
But those are just media sources.
Those are things that I do because I enjoy doing them. But my business is real estate, and my business is helping people. That's my business. Anything beyond that is irrelevant. My why for doing this, obviously, as you can see from the picture, I'm not the youngest guy in the world, but I have lots of life to live. And, the other thing is that I'm a very high animal advocate. I really believe in them living successful lives and being able to take them off the street, these poor animals that no one trusts.
You have your own animal shelter.
And my wife runs an animal shelter. So, for me, it's my why. It's why I do what I do. And everyone has to have that why. You can be anything you want to be in this world. We live in a great country. America is awesome.
We can do anything that we want. All we have to do is get off our butts to do it.
And do it. So if you're going to be involved in any business, whether it be real estate or McDonald's or whatever, you have to wake up each morning and say, you know what? I'm in.
You're going to do it.
And I'm in.
You're either all in or you're not in.
I'm in. And you can't, and when things don't go right, you're still in.
There you go.
You can't let them get you and side direct you. It doesn't work.
All right. How do people get in contact with you, Frank?
Well, they get in contact with me with 916-719-6161. Also, if anybody is interested, we do meet every Thursday here in Sacramento.
Okay.
And so if you go to the website, which is Think and Grow Wealth, is it .com?
.org.
.org, sorry. You can register to come on down, get to see me up on stage, and we'll talk a little bit about the steps of business, the pillars of business that are important, and that includes business itself, taxes, how to make things happen. Because if you understand how money works, all of a sudden your life will change.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People tell me all the time they don't have money to advertise. I said, well, then let's change that. And I said, I'm trying. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you're hopeless.
People don't realize where money is. Money is in your phone. There are people out there that that have money that they don't know what to do with. If you are knowledgeable enough to explain to them.
And trustworthy.
And you have the tools and the team behind you to make it work, guess what? People will be happy to invest with you.
916-719-6161, 916-719-6161, frankverney.org, frankverney.org. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back and learn more. We'll be right back.
Perfect.